right, this is part 2 of algebraic expressions. So if this is your first time you're watching this video, please go to the first part so that you can make sense of what we're doing here. Without any wasting any of your time, let's get on with it. So here we are now going to define the word term, but the best way to define a term is through showing you how it works, giving an example. So if I come here and I write the famous 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. This number 1 on its own, this is what we call a term. Or had I written that I have got a plus b here, this a is a term, this b also is a what? Is a term. Or had I written 2a like this, right? This is a term. So when we talk about a term, we're talking about a number that you write either in an expression or in any equation, right? Or whether it's a fraction, doesn't matter. The moment you write a number, then you've got a term. So now we know what is a term. We can tick and say we are done with that. Now we go to a coefficient. Coefficient. Now on a coefficient, we've got this, I've got this number 2a, which I wrote here. I wrote 2a here. Now this number which is in front of a what? Of a letter, that is what is called a coefficient. Right. So if I write negative 3c here, my negative 3c becomes what? This is my coefficient. So any number that is attached to a letter and it comes before the letter, it always comes before the letter, it will always be before the letter. That is what you call a coefficient. All right, we are done. Then we've got what we call a variable. A variable means something that changes. A variable means something that changes. But in this particular instance, not only does it change, what does it also represent? It also represents the fact that we do not know the number. So it's an unknown. So if I come back like to this example of 2a, this letter a, we do not know which number. We just know that here we've been told that 2 must multiply with a number, but we do not know what is that number. That number could be 1, that number could be 2, that number could be negative 7, right? We do not know the number. So that state of us not knowing, that's what we call a variable. And also this letter c, it's a variable. So anytime that you see letters, right, from your alphabet, from letter A to letter Z, any of these letters, it simply means that the number is unknown. It's representing. When you were in primary doing grade 2, you used to write something like this: 1 plus a square here is equal to 3. Then this square would represent a number that you do not know. Now, because you are older, starting from last year in grade 7, that's when letters were introduced to you. We're just saying that this is what would have been a variable when you were doing grade 3, when you do not know the value, a numerical value. All right, so now we know what is a variable. Now, last but not least, we come to what is called a what? A constant. A constant. So let's see. If we give you number 2x plus 4 here, this is a rule that you have been given, 2x plus 4. Now, obviously, if I say 2 multiplied by 2, it gives me 4. And this 4 plus 4 is equals to 8. And then if we change the x and we say 2 multiplied by 3, 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, and 6 plus 4 is equals to 10. Do you see that this number 4 here, it's not changing? It doesn't matter how often we are changing the variables, but when you are done multiplying these two numbers, guess what happens? You still have to add 4. So 4 is not changing. The state whereby something does not change, that's what we call a constant. So the constant is not always a positive. The constant could be a negative. So let's take negative 3x minus 4. No matter how much we can change here or how much we can multiply these two values, but when we are done, we have to subtract 4. That's what constant means. So now we know what is a constant. Now comes what we call monomial. What we call monomial. Now, let's just go to the prefix what?